Hey everyone, LogicPQ here. Welcome back to the fourth installment of the I Wanna Be the Guy Remastered Any% Speedrunning Guide. This installment is going to cover the strategies for the area directly after the Dracula boss fight, Tetris, the Spike Wall autoscroller, Kraidgief's cave, and the Kraidgief boss fight. This is Split 4 in the optimal speedrun route, and it features one of the most recognizable tricks in the run. Let's get right into it. Once the Dracula boss fight ends, you will spawn back in the Ryu room, but on the far right side. Simply walk to the right and go into a white portal on the next screen. This white portal simply takes you back to the beginning of the game. Players of all skill level, the first screen features a trick that everyone asks about when they first see speedruns of this game. How do you go through the spike wall? In order to pass through the spike wall, you need to do exactly two things correctly. First, you must align your character along the right wall. You do this by rubbing your character against the wall, adjusting your pixels. Keep holding right until you touch the ground below. Second, you begin holding left as soon as you touch the ground. This is not frame tight. If you do these two steps correctly, then you will walk right through the spike wall. If you are a beginner specifically, then you might find it best to save at this point before going for the align, just in case. Then you simply walk through the wall on the left side. Yes, there is no physical barrier there, and continue on to screen 2. One last thing to mention. The old strategy for this room was to shoot the save and immediately fall into the hole below. If you did it right, then the save should be hit after you hit the ground. When you reset, the ceiling above won't trigger, but the spike wall will. Then just jump over the spike wall. I don't recommend this strat, as it's slower and harder. Just thought I would include it for the sake of covering everything. Beginners should jump onto one of the platforms moving down on the right side, then dodge the spike falling from the ceiling. Then go over to the middle section of upwards platforms. Be ready to dodge back to the right to ensure not dying to this trap. Then wait for the platforms to carry you up a little bit, and jump over to the last section of downwards moving platforms. To ensure you don't die on these, always full jump, and you will snap to the platform coming down from above you. Trigger the trap and continue full jumping until the trap goes away. The trap lasts exactly 4 seconds, which coincidentally is 4 full jumps on the platforms. Then beginners can continue to screen 3, the room of divine transportation. Intermediate and advanced runners. If you performed screen 1 quickly, then you should enter screen 2 with this platform cycle. Do a small jump upon entering the room to land on this platform going down. This will allow you to dodge the falling spike without letting go of left. Then, double jump to land on this specific platform moving up. If you got here fast enough, then you can dodge the 3 spikes without letting go of left. Jump when you reach the edge of this platform to narrowly dodge the spikes. Then, full jump twice to snap to this platform moving down. If you landed correctly, you should be far enough right on the platform to quickly full jump up to the platform coming down from above without letting go of left. Then, aim your jump to land between these 2 spikes and jump to bypass the trap. You can make this jump slightly easier and slightly slower if you rub the kit against the wall before jumping out of the room. If you performed everything correctly, then you never let go of left while traversing screen 2. Beginner and intermediate runners. The room of divine transportation is very simple and difficult to die on. Simply follow the path until you reach the left side of the room. If you have all of the items, avoid jumping into the G, because it will transport you to the dev room where you won't be able to get back from. Before jumping out of the room to the left, turn around, shoot the save, and immediately double jump to try and save as high as possible. That way, if you die in the following rooms, you will respawn such that you can immediately double jump back up to this higher platform. This safety save will grant you at least 2 to 3 seconds back if something goes wrong on the next screen and you need to reset. Advanced runners. Perform all of the movement in this room essentially the same as the beginner route, but be sure to hit the save at some point on the right side of the screen. Also, to optimize frames, try to land as early and as low as possible on this platform to allow you to jump sooner than if you had landed further to the left. Beginners. The bullet bill room has a spike trap immediately upon entering it. Either run up to the trap and run back, or do what I recommend here and run to the edge, full jump, and hold left to dodge the spike. Then go back to the platform to wait for the bullet bills. The reason this is better is because it doesn't run the risk of going back into the room of divine transportation. If you go back into the other room, then you will have to re-enter the bullet bill room, which restarts the bullet bill cycle and loses some time. There are many strategies that work to safely get across the room, but here is my go-to strategy. Full jump when you see the bullet bill reach this spot, just before the halfway point in the room. Then double jump and hold jump to land on the bullet bill. If you held jump after hitting the bullet bill, you will max height jump off of the bill, allowing you to easily clear the spike. Then double jump again and hold jump for every bullet bill after. Beware the spike trap in the middle of the screen, while continuing to jump on the bullet bills. This should take only 5 bullet bills to reach the far left side with this strategy. The red bullet bills shoot every 1.25 seconds, so be ready to jump and dodge such that the bullet still hits the shy guy, and then just double jump into the hole below. Intermediate and advanced runners will perform the 4 bullet crossing. The timing for the first jump is the same as I described in the beginner route, but the big difference is the weave around the spike trap. This tighter weave allows you to reach the 3rd bullet just as it passes this pillar. This allows you to hit the 4th bullet with ease and complete the room as normal. To save some time at the end, time the jump such that you jump over the red bullet, kill the shy guy, and are holding right to save some frames. Try to barely make the jump into the hole below as well, cutting this spike as close as possible to save even more frames. Now you enter the Tetris area. Beginners will need to learn the Tetris pattern. You can follow along and learn the pattern that I do every time, but know there are many viable ways to survive the Tetris section. The way the Tetris blocks kill you is if they move where the kid is located. This will immediately kill the kid, but luckily they always do the same patterns. My goal is to get on top of this gray block, wait for the 2 blue blocks to come down, then jump up on top of them. Then, when the green block spawns on the screen, jump out to the right, wait for the green block to come down, then go back to land on top of it. The best part about this is now you can just wait until the 2nd yellow block comes down here, and jump over it. Then stand on this yellow block and wait for your path out to emerge. Jump onto the lower part of this blue block, and double jump up to the pink block above. From here, you can jump out of the Tetris area. Note that you will need to do this in a somewhat timely manner, because eventually you will be trapped in the Tetris area and eventually killed if you take too long. Intermediate runners will perform all of the same actions as the beginners until you get to the section with the 2 yellow blocks in a row. From here, you will wait until the 2nd yellow block spawns in and moves over the top of the other yellow block. The yellow block will move down once, and about halfway between this movement and the next, you will perform a double full jump up to it to land on the yellow block. Then, try to full jump off of this yellow block as soon as possible to jump out of the room early. This strategy is known as the mini Tetris Skip, saves about 10 seconds, and can be performed very safely if you react to making a mistake. You can easily react and not die, and then just escape the room as you would in the beginner route. The max time you will have is about 10 frames to jump off of the yellow block, but this frame count can be more or less depending on the exact time of your initial jump up to the yellow block. Advanced runners will be performing one of the most iconic tricks in the run, Tetris Skip. This skip saves 40 seconds over the beginner route and 30 seconds over the intermediate mini Tetris route. Blink and you'll miss it in runs. To perform this trick, you will need to perform a frame-perfect jump on the first jump when you enter the room. The spot for the frame-perfect jump is right here. Newer runners have been using a program to have your mouse cursor be at this spot on the screen to allow you to perform it easier. Some runners who go for this trick have opted to do Kraidgief as the first boss or the first split in the run, to do Tetris Skip immediately and allow for quick resets if you fail. I personally use a visual cue. When kid falls below this line on the screen, I try to reactively full jump. This usually results in me pressing the jump key at the right frame. After hitting this jump, the kid's head should barely pass under the Tetris block. This visual cue indicates that you did the first jump correctly. Then, just as you are about to pass the Tetris block above, turn back to the left. The Tetris block fortunately skips this area, so it doesn't kill you. Land on this section of the Tetris block. Once again, you will have about 10 frames to jump off of this Tetris block to reach the exit. Make sure you are running back to the right and jump from the right side of the Tetris block to make it to the exit. You may fail this jump if you jump from the left side of the Tetris block or double jump too quickly. Notice how I full jump, wait to see myself fall a little, and then full jump again. This ensures you get the maximum horizontal jump distance with the kid. With that, you have completed one of the biggest skips in the game. One other note, if you saved in the room of Divine Transportation as close to the left as possible, this will help if you fail Tetris Skip. If you go for Tetris Skip a second time from this save point, then you will still save about 15 seconds over the mini Tetris Skip, meaning second try is viable. Third try will essentially be even with mini Tetris Skip, so this means Tetris Skip fails usually only results in about a 15-second time loss. Now you are in the Kirby section. Beginners, land on this block and stop. Shoot across the gap to hit the save for safety. Now jump out to the right and stop before reaching the fourth spike. This spike is a trap, so stop and double jump to the left of it. Then fall down into the hole it left below. Then just double jump up to this spot next to the save and shoot the save again. Double jump up to this platform, then single jump up to the vine to preserve your double jump. If you double jump onto the vine, you will not regain that air jump until you touch the ground again. To perform vine jumps easily, hold jump while on the vine. Then hit left or right to move the kid off of the vine. If you are holding jump when you do this, the kid will full jump off of the vine instead of falling. So full jump right off of this vine and use your preserved double jump to get through this simple gate. Then go back to the left to grab this vine. Be sure you are holding jump when you grab it and full jump off of this vine while holding right. This will allow you to clear this spike and dodge the spike trap from above without needing to worry about dying to it. Then go back and grab this save again from the right side so you never have to redo that section if you die during the autoscroller. Intermediates. When falling down from the Tetris room, land on this platform while continuing to hold right. Shoot and double jump up. Reset in the air after your bullet hits the save, and use your new third jump to clear the spike trap that comes up from below. If you barely don't make the jump over to this platform, it means you grabbed the save when your character was too far to the left, and you should wait a small number of frames upon respawning before jumping over the spike to give your character a little bit more horizontal distance so you can make the jump. Shoot the save again, then jump up to this platform. You will single full jump up to the vine on the left, then try to immediately full jump off of the vine to the right. If done correctly, you should barely make it to the vine on the right before hitting the spike. Then immediately hit left off of this vine to full jump over the gate above, and before hitting the spikes below, use your saved double jump to narrowly dodge the spike trap above and the spikes below. This is marginally faster than the beginner strategy. Since you are an intermediate now, you can safely not grab the save from the right side as you shouldn't die during the autoscroller anymore. Advanced runners. The only difference in your route compared to the intermediate route through this screen is you will perform a very precise blind jump to narrowly dodge this spike trap. Then full double jump to barely make it to this platform. This essentially only saves the time it takes to reset, so usually only about 0.3 seconds, and is significantly harder than the other strategy. You will then perform the vine jumps described in the intermediate route to get out of the room. One last note. When leaving this room, perform a small jump off of this platform to land on the platform on the next screen without letting go of right. Then you can double jump over this spike gap without needing to ever let go of right, saving some frames. Runners of all skill levels. You have now reached the spike wall autoscroller. To clear the spike gap, you will need to do a max horizontal jump, so be sure to wait for the first jump to begin moving down before double jumping. Everyone does this section a little differently because it is an auto-scroller, so feel free to try copying what I do or find your own strategy. I recommend above all else doing something that is safe and consistent. In the final screen of the auto-scroller, you don't need to activate the cherries on the trees. If you do activate them though, be sure to do it the way shown to have the lowest chance of dying. And now you have completed the auto-scroller spike wall. To save the most time at the end, you will want to follow dangerously close to the spike wall from behind. Then jump, grab the save, and reset to unload the spike wall. Be careful because it is easy to accidentally miss the save and reset all the way back to your last save. So beginners should at least take the time to ensure the save lights up green before resetting. For the first screen of the Kraidgief cave, runners of all skill levels can do a similar strategy. The first jump over the spikes is somewhat precise. You can pretty much just jump from any point on this raised platform, then be sure to double jump before hitting the spike, but not too early or you will not make the jump over the second spike. I usually line up a little bit further to the left on the platform earlier, as it allows you to get a little bit higher when you're close to the spike. Then continue holding right until you reach screen 2. Beginners, it is safe to jump when you are near the spike, so be careful not to jump too early. Then just walk left, full jump up to the left vine, full vine jump to the right, then do one vine jump where you press left, then right, shortly after to re-grab the vine. Then jump left off of the vine and use your saved double jump to easily grab the vine on the upper left wall. Then do one last vine jump where you press right, then left to get up to the save. Intermediate and advanced runners. The vine section can be done faster if you full jump up to the spike above you, then double jump above and on top of that spike to grab the vine on the right wall. Then do a big vine jump to get a lot of height on the right vine quickly, and finally big vine jump to the left vine wall and do a quick right then left vine jump to reach the save. This strategy is almost a second faster than the easier beginner strategy, but remember, you use your double jump right away so you don't have it to fall back on if you make a mistake. Beginner and intermediate runners, you can do a small jump to reach the gap, and as soon as you are in the gap, begin holding right. You should barely not hit the right spike below, allowing you to make it to the next screen. Your goal should be to not grab the vine on the right wall, but if you do, I recommend just taking the time loss and not jumping off of it because this jump will probably kill you. If you did everything correctly, then you still have your air jump as you are dropping into the screen 3 of the cave. Once you have this wall to your right, hold right into the wall and time your jump anywhere in this area of the screen so as not to risk dying anywhere below. Be mindful of this vine on the right wall. It has weird properties near the top where you can't grab that section for some reason. Because of this, wait until you visually see Kid grab the wall. Then try reactively vine jumping up to the vine on the left wall. Immediately jump off of this vine to the upper right vine and do a left then right vine jump to reach the save before the Kraidgief fight. Advanced runners, you will drop down to screen 3 the same as the former route, but instead of holding right, you will try to vine jump off of the left vine at a precise height. You want to do a small vine jump to prevent bonking on this ceiling. Then double jump once you pass the ceiling and go back to the vine on the left wall. Then go up from there as normal. If you do this well, it saves about 0.4 seconds over the beginner intermediate route, but is much harder. If you do the last 2 vine jumps perfectly, it is possible to jump from the upper right vine over the entire platform straight down into the Kraidgief fight without ever touching the ground. This means you keep your fall speed and will save an extra half second. I almost never get that jump though, as it is extremely precise. Now you are in the Kraidgief fight. Beginner and intermediate runners, you will be performing the normal phase 2 skip, so drop down below this threshold, not too far to the left, to trigger the Kraidgief fight animation. Line up the Kid in this area so you aren't too far away from the Kraidgief fight when you begin shooting. I recommend mashing skipped cutscene, then timing your shots as soon as you see Kraidgief pop on the screen. If your mashing is just okay, then mash as fast as you can. Jump up to the platform above and wait for Kraidgief to walk toward you, then back. I recommend waiting on this platform in the middle and reacting to one of his 2 potential attacks. If you see Kraidgief's fist go straight up, then the top platform and bottom platform are safe for you. Then quickly run back to the middle platform once the attack passes, and turn toward Kraidgief. Kraidgief will just stand staring at you for about 1.5 seconds, so be sure to not shoot too early at him. After about 1.3 seconds, begin mashing as fast as you can. If you do everything right, then Kraidgief should be in phase 3, and his platforms he shoots out are under the floor. This is an intended glitch from the original game, and it allows you to beat Kraidgief significantly faster and easier than the normal way. Mash until Kraidgief dies, dodging any unlucky falling spikes in the process. If you get the other Kraidgief attack, he will stand up a bit and his fist will go back off screen. This indicates he is going to hit you with the straight fist, so don't move from the middle platform at all. Kraidgief will pump his fist 4 times at you. When he does the 4th pump, reactively begin mashing to shoot at him, and you should trigger phase 3 same as in the other scenario. And just to give you an idea, phase 2 looks like this, so if you trigger this part of the fight, simply reset and try to hit the skip again, as this is still faster and easier than defeating Kraidgief the normal way. Lastly, I recommend waiting to see the fire explosion at the end, which does have a hitbox, then jump out toward Kraidgief. This will prevent you from dying in a dumb way at the end of the fight. Advanced runners. When you line up to shoot Kraidgief at the beginning of the fight, if your mashing is really good, then don't line up too far to the right. This can accidentally lead you to immediately triggering phase 2. Instead, line up against the left wall and perform the fight as usual. You will be doing one last time save at the end of phase 1. If Kraidgief does this straight fist, shoot at the 4th pump. Then try to time falling off the platform such that you enter phase 3 as you are falling. This will cause you to not miss any shots and you will save about 0.5 seconds. If you get the straight up fist attack, then dodge it and wait for about 1 second before jumping and mashing. This will cause your bullets to go over his fist, normally they bounce off of it, and begin damaging him as early as possible. Then time the walk off again, such that your bullets don't miss. One last thing to note is that the straight up fist seems to be faster by about 0.3 seconds. This is only because you can't begin shooting until Kraidgief's fist moves down, otherwise your bullets will bounce off. This showcases the advantage of being able to jump over his fist in the other attack, while you can't do that for this attack. Then spam shoot Kraidgief until the fight is nearly over. You can do one last trick to save some frames, where you jump out towards Kraidgief to damage him a little faster near the end of the fight. As you see Kraidgief's eyes pass below the top of the spike, you can begin full double jumping out early. If you didn't go too early, you should barely not die to the flame hitbox, and you will be as far right as possible when the hitbox disappears, saving some frames. Now that we are done with Split 4, you know what time it is. Time for a comparison between the beginner, intermediate, and advanced routes in this split. Enjoy. you enjoyed this and haven't checked out the first 3 parts in this series, then please check those out too. Thanks for watching and subscribing for Part 5, Remastered Any Percent Speedrun Guide, Dr. Wiley. Please leave a like and comment for that YouTube algorithm. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. This was LogicPQ. Thanks for watching.